ICE isn't just like the Gestapo. They're closer to slave catchers. And once that clicks, a lot of people get real uncomfortable real fast. Every time ICE comes up, someone reaches for that Gestapo comparison. And I get why they do it. Raids in the middle of the night, neighbors disappearing, families gone before breakfast. That's the kind of terror that people were taught to recognize, as long as it happened to people that look like them. But that comparison is doing a whole lot of emotional work that it just doesn't deserve. Because structurally, historically, ICE does not move like the Gestapo. They move like slave patrols. And the reason nobody wants to say that out loud is because slave patrols aren't foreign. They're not exotic. They're not evil elsewhere. They're American, homegrown. Slave patrols were legal, state funded, community supported. Their job was simple: stop people, demand proof, and decide on site who belonged and who didn't. No crime required, no trial, no explanation. Just papers, accent, skin, and presence. That's it. That's the blueprint. They weren't hunting ideology. They weren't fighting enemies of the state. They were enforcing status. Who's allowed to move? Who's allowed to stay? Who can be taken and who can be returned? And here's the part people really don't want to sit with. Slave patrols are the history that a lot of white families don't talk about because it's not abstract, it's not distant, and it doesn't end with, and the bad guys lost. It sounds like something someone's great-great-grandfather may have done on a Tuesday afternoon. So people grab the Gestapo instead, because the Gestapo says that could never be us. Slave patrols say this is exactly us. The Gestapo comparison lets you condemn terror without interrogating lineage. Slave patrols, however, force you to admit that American terror didn't need a dictator. It needed law, it needed paperwork, it needed permission, it needed neighbors that said, well, that's just how this works. That's why ICE feels so familiar to some and shocking to others, because some of us recognize the pattern immediately. Civil enforcement, administrative power, we're just enforcing the law, you know? Paperwork treated like morality, and families treated like inventory. Different uniforms, different century, same logic. And that's why the Gestapo comparison keeps circulating, because it centers fear once it touches people that look like the ones telling the story. Slave patrols force a deeper realization, right? What if the terror wasn't imported? What if it was foundational? What if it never actually ended, it just learned a new language? ICE is not an accident, it's not a deviation, and it isn't new. It's old power doing what it's always done, just with updated branding and better PR. And once you see that, yeah, that's the oh shit moment.